But let's start with Dion George. Well, this is the second cabinet reshuffle the last 16 months of a GNU. But what do we know? Why was Dion George, as a DA appointee, why was he removed from his position?
So according to Daily Maverick, it's because John Steenhuisen and John Steenhuisen funders did not like Dion George's stance on bidding for hunting. John Steenhuisen had later come out in a statement yesterday and said, no, this is absolutely not true. The reason why we're removing Dion George is because in this current government of national unity, we need the best person forward to do the job, and there needs to be congeniality in governance. And I think John's choice of words is really interesting, because this idea that Dion George was removed because he wasn't performing, I think he was probably one of the best performing ministers that the DA currently has, if not one of the best performing ministers in the cabinet currently. When you look at the reforms he's made, like pushing for the penguins there in Boulders Beach, when you look at what he's done, like just on an environmental policy perspective, I think that he's really continued Barbara Creesy's legacy as the former Minister of DFFE. And I was very skeptical when he first came in, because Dion George has a finance background, and the fact that he was now going to environment, it was definitely a big gap. But he proved to really be doing well in his portfolio, with a really big emphasis on climate financing. And I think many people are shocked by this removal. The choice of Willie, look, the South African Hunting Association just endorsed him and welcomed him to come in now as the new Minister of Forestry, Fishery and Environmental Affairs. And I think it's definitely going to be interesting. But I do think it really does beg the question. I think that Dion was far more qualified for the job than Willie. So what is best practice, to have the person who is more qualified or the person who's going to toe the party line?